I think the thing for me, and this has been one of those things that I think has been a negative ramification of the Trump presidency, is that I think that there is has been this separation of people's faith from their politics to a certain degree of what influences them. And a lot of that became out of necessity because we kept defending Trump because he would have all these attacks. And we kept saying over and over and over again, we're not defending the guy, we're defending the policies. We're not saying he's this perfect pastor theologian standard of righteousness, but he's getting the job done. But I think that that's morphed into this kind of separation of church and state, even though that's not what our founding fathers intended, and to where we're kind of compartmentalizing everything. When push comes to shove, what are we actually fighting for? That's the thing that I don't really have a firm grasp on. And this is kind of why one of the reasons I've kind of walked away from the MAGA crowd, not because my beliefs have changed, but because I'm like, I don't know what we're fighting for. I don't know what we're standing for. I don't know the agenda that we're trying to implement, because it feels like it changes from day to day. There's no base principles. And also from the Christian standpoint, when you think about it, the foundational principle of the United States of America is this idea that we're all created in the image of God. The Constitution does not work without that core foundational principle that we are created in the image of God. And because we're creating the image of God, we have certain value as an individual, not as a group, but as an individual. That's why we have certain inalienable rights that cannot be taken away by the government. It's because they're given to us by God. And the government's job was not to give us the rights, but to protect the rights that God gave us, that they cannot take away. So by becoming much more secularized as a political party, we're not able to fight that fight anymore. What we're losing is that foundational principle. And so the end result of that is a lot of really horrific policies. And I don't second guess my vote for President Trump because, Kamala Harris is utterly catastrophic, but also some of the ramifications, especially in AI technology and the fast tracking of that technology by the Trump administration, could be the end of humanity as we know it. Like it could be far worse than anything that a President Kamala Harris would have ever done. That's because there's not that foundational view that we have these inalienable rights, that we have to protect you as an individual. What the Trump administration is doing is what's good for the masses, what's good for America, the entity, not what's good for us, the individual. And that's in stark contrast with what the founding fathers actually wanted this country to be.